Welcome to Learn Commerce PU online classes. Don't forget to like our video and subscribe our YouTube channel for all the updates.
Hello my dear students, welcome back to First Commerce Accountancy online classes. Dear student, you have learnt about the basic principles of accounting in the previous chapters and all, correct, right? So what are the basic principles of accounting? According to the basic principle of accounting, for every debit there will be an equal credit, correct, right? So for every debit, when we are recording the transaction in the books of accounts, each transaction affects minimum two different accounts that we know. When we are passing the journal entry, we learn the basic principles, basic rules of debit and credit. According to that, each and every transaction affects minimum two accounts. So in a transaction there is two aspects, one is debit aspects and credit aspect. We have to record that aspect in a proper books of accounts. We need to pass journal entry, we need to record the transaction in the books of accounts based on some of the evidence documents, correct, right? So it means that what the sum of all debits equals the sum of all credit. Sum of all debits, when we follow the aspects, means rules of debit and credit of a transaction, then we can easily pass the journal entries. Through that we can prepare ledger accounts, we can post the individual accounts to the we can post the transactions to the individual accounts, then we can balance that amount and all. So but the aggregate, the sum of all debits equals the sum of all credit. That is according to the principles of accounting. Let's start a new chapter. Chapter 6, Trial Balance and Rectification of Accounts. In the first chapter and second chapter, we learned the basic theory parts, basic terms, basic accounting concepts and conventions and all. And the next coming two chapters, we had discussed about the concept of journal entry, means before that accounting equation, rules of debit and credit, passing the journal entries and preparation of cash book and other subsidiary books and all in the next chapter. And in this chapter we will study the basic process of preparing trial balance. Then now we need to know the exact meaning of trial balance. What exactly trial balance is? Why we need to prepare trial balance? Trial balance is a statement or it is an account. We need to study that concept because in the coming chapter we will study the important and very important concept in our accounting, that is what? Preparation of financial statements. So preparation of financial statement is nothing but it includes the important concept of accounting, that is what? The accounting informations are useful to the end users, to the interested users. So there are number of interested users are there. To them an organization have to give financial report. So that financial report is consist profit and trading account, profit and loss account and balance sheet. So to prepare trading account and to prepare profit and loss account or even a balance sheet, one should prepare trial balance. So trial balance is helpful to an accountant to check the arithmetical accuracy of the account, whether the organization, especially an accountant, is followed the correct principles of rules of debit and credit or not. So to check the arithmetical accuracy of the ledger accounts or to check the arithmetical accuracy of all the previous accounts, one should prepare trial balance before preparing financial statements. That is what? Before preparing trading account, profit and loss account and balance sheet. So let's see the meaning of trial balance. So trial balance is a statement. What is this? It is a statement prepared with debit and credit balances of ledger accounts. We know we know to pass journal entries, and we know to already we studied how we can post the journal entries to the individual accounts. Already we discussed in the previous chapter. So based on the debit and credit balances of the ledger accounts, we can prepare trial balance. So it is a statement prepared with the debit and credit balances of ledger account. Balances means what? In the ledger, say for example 2 balance carried down and 2 by balance brought down, like that balances are transferred, means are recorded in trial balance to check whether we recorded, whether an accountant recorded the transaction in an accurate manner or not. To check that one, means accountant should prepare this trial balance. So a statement prepared with the debit and credit balances of ledger accounts. Why? To check or to test the arithmetical accuracy of books. To check the arithmetical accuracy of the books, we need to prepare trial balance. So trial balance is very important to prepare, because this is considered as what? Link. It is treated as a link between to prepare the financial statements. So this trial balance is based on the double entry system. According to double entry system, both the aspects are recorded in the books of accounts. So this chapter explains the process, the meaning of trial balance and the process of preparing trial balance, and even how we can rectify the errors, how we can identify the errors and how we can rectify the errors. Say when an organization, when passing number of transactions, there may be some, accountant may do some errors. Say for example, instead of recording the transaction in purchase book, he may record that same transaction in the sales book. Some errors may happen that is not intentionally, but some errors may happen by the accountant. So to rectify that errors or to check that errors, one should prepare trial balance before preparing financial statement. So let's discuss some of the important objectives of trial balance. The first one is objectives of trial balance. Objectives of preparing trial balance. Why we need to prepare trial balance? What are the main objectives behind the preparation of trial balance? The first one is to check the arithmetical accuracy. Accuracy of the books or of the accounts. To check the arithmetical accuracy, whether accounting recorded the transaction in the books of accounts in a proper manner or not, whether he took both the aspects of a transaction, whether he recorded the debit and credit aspects of account in a accurate manner or not. So to check that, one should prepare trial balance. So, and it also helps in locating errors. So when according to the trial balance, both side, means debit column and credit column must show the equal value, then we can consider that, it means that it proves that the trial balance means all the previous accounts, means preparation of journal entry or posting the journal entry to the ledger accounts are in accurate manner. Okay, so to check that, to check the accounts in a proper manner, one should prepare trial balance, and to helps in locating errors. Already I told that accountant may unintentionally recorded some correct transaction in a wrong book, or records he may record a transaction in a wrong book, he may violate some of the principles, or he forget to record the transaction. It means what? Omit to record the he omitted to record the transaction in the books of accounts. There are a number of errors may happen by an accountant, but to rectify that, this trial balance should be prepared by an accountant. So it helps in locating errors. So errors may be in the process of totaling of subsidiary books, or posting the journal entry to the ledger accounts, or errors may happen at the time of passing the journal entries, or errors may happen at the time of calculating the accounting balances of cash book, or balances of cash account, or balances of any other personal accounts, and calculating. At the time of calculating, he may do some errors, or at the time of carrying the accounting balances to the trial balance, instead of recording 10,000, he by mistakenly he recorded as that same amount as 12,000, or more than that, or less than that. Or totaling of the trial balance. Errors may happen at the time of totaling of trial balance. So whatever this trial balance helps to locate some kind of errors. And one more important objective of the trial balance is it helps in preparing the financial statements. Financial statement. So already I told that availability of, or this trial balance is considered as what? The connecting link between accounting records and the preparation of financial statement. Based on these information, or based on the trial balance, accountant can prepare the financial statements. According to this, availability of tallied trial balance is the basic source or the basic document which is helpful to prepare the financial statement. The information to prepare trading or profit and loss account and balance sheet. Every accountant need the information from the trial balance. So from trial balance, with the help of trial balance, we can easily prepare. With the help of accurate or tallied trial balance, we can prepare the financial statement of an organization. So all revenues in trial balance, you should know, in trial balance, when we are preparing trial balance, it includes all revenues, expenses, assets, capital and all liabilities. It includes, means it combines all types of accounts in a trial balance in that particular statement. So by categorizing all those accounts, we can prepare trading account, profit and loss account and balance sheet. Means all expenses and revenues are recorded in trading account and profit and loss account, and the items relates to capital, liabilities and assets are recorded in balance sheet of the organization. All expenses and all revenues are recorded in trading, profit and loss account, and all assets, capital and liabilities are recorded under balance sheet of that organization. So this preparation of trial balance or trial balance of a company helps in preparing the financial statements. So an accountant can prepare the financial statement just by using the trial balance of that company. That must be equal, means tallied trial balance is important. So let's discuss important methods. What are the methods are there to record or to prepare the trial balance? The next concept is methods of preparing trial balance. See, there are three methods of trial balance. By using three methods, organization can prepare trial balance. One is totals method. Totals method. Second one is balances method. And third one is total cum balances method. See, there are three methods. One is totals method, the second one is balances method, third one is total cum balances method. We follow this method to prepare, means many organizations follow balances method to prepare trial balance. So, what is totals method? See, in simple, we can say that totals method means under this method, total of each side of debit and credit columns are separately recorded and shown in the separate column, shown in the respective columns of debit and credit. See, we know that debits, we know which side is debit side and credit side, which side is considered as credit side, because already we discussed, we solved many illustration on journal entry and ledger concept, correct, right? There we studied our left hand side is debit and our right hand side is credit. So according to this totals method and there we studied that usually both sides show different value. Greater side amount is recorded in both sides, and lesser side we will carry down the amount, correct, right? So we balance it, we balance that lesser, we balance the amount where the which side is shows lesser value. Say for example, debit side shows 15,000, credit side shows 10,000, then we should record greater amount on both sides, 15,000 and 15,000, and we need to balance 5,000 in this credit side because credit side showing less value compared to this debit side. So according to this totals method, in the when we are preparing trial balance, we should record totals of debit and credit recorded, means separately calculated totaling, and we need to record that same amount in the respective column. Say debit side shows 15,000, credit side shows 10,000. Like this we should record in the trial balance. But according to the agreement of trial balance must show the equal value, means the trial balance debit total must equal to the credit total, correct, right? So for that reason this method is not used by the organization, because according to our principle of trial balance is following the principle of double entry concept, so double entry system. So according to that, debit must equal to credit, but usually if the organization follows this method, there is not possible to show the equal amount on both sides. That's why this method is not popularized. And the next one, balances method. According to this balances method, or under this balances method, balances of debit and credit are recorded on each side, debit side, and only balances of the ledger accounts are recorded in the trial balance. Balances means what? Cash book balance, cash book. See, this is one, cash account, and this carried down credit side, debit side, carried down 15,000. This amount is recorded, or this amount is recorded in the trial balance, not the debit side total or credit side total. According to the balances method, balances is prepared, or showing the balances or trial balance is prepared by showing the balances of ledger accounts and then totaling up of debit side and credit side. in the next I will show the format of debit format of trial balance. In that we should record the transactions, means we should record the debit aspects here, credit balance here. Totaling of debit balances and credit balances are recorded in the respective columns, because at the end of the end result is every trial balance must show the equal debit and credit values. So here totaling up of the debit and credit considered, all balances of all ledger accounts are recorded, and then balancing and then totaling up the debit and credit balances of trial balance to assure their correctness. We can analyze if the trial balance tallied, then we can analyze that previous accounts shows the accurate value or accurately they recorded all the transaction. But you should know the tally trial balance is not the end proof. End proof mainly because some error does not affect the trial balance, does not affect the tallying of trial balance. ಕೆಲವೊಂದು ತಪ್ಪುಗಳಾದಾಗ ಟ್ರಯಲ್ ಬ್ಯಾಲೆನ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವುದೇ ಮಿಸ್ಟೇಕ್ಗಳಿಗೆ ಟ್ಯಾಲಿಗೆ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಆಗೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ಬೋತ್ ಸೈಡ್, ಸೇ ಫಾರ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ಕ್ಯಾಶ್ ಬುಕ್ ಶೋಸ್ ಕ್ಯಾಶ್ ಬುಕ್ ಓವರ್ಕಾಸ್ಟ್ ಬೈ or purchase book overcast by 10,000 and sales book undercast by 10,000. At that time it does not affect the equality or does not affect the tally of the trial balance. At that time this tallied trial balance is also not considered as a final or the end proof to prepare the financial statement. But usually many organizations are following the balances method. Here in the balances method, balances of ledger accounts are considered and recorded in the respective debit and credit as credit column, and then totaling that both side, and the trial balance must show the equal value of debit and credit column. Next one is total cum balances method. It is a combine of this totals method and balances method. Here 4 amount columns are maintained. First 2 columns to record the totals of debit and credit value, and next 2 columns to record the debit and credit balances of ledger account. First 2 columns to record debit and credit amounts, debit and credit totals, and the next 2 columns to record debit and credit balances of ledger account. So these are the 3 important methods to prepare trial balance. And the next concept, let's see some of the important significance of trial balance. See, it is an important for an accountant, that is trial balance must show, or that trial balance that the total balances should tally. Means for an accountant that the trial balance should show the tally, means equal value, equal amount on each side, each column, debit column and credit column. Normally tally trial balance is considered as what that both the debit and credit aspect of a transactions are recorded in a proper manner. But already I told that it is not an absolute proof, or it is this according to the agreement of trial balance, it is not an absolute proof of accuracy of the accounting records. Say ಒಂದ್ಸಲ account trial balance correct amount show ಮಾಡಿದೆ, means both debit and credit column shows the equal value, then we cannot easily judge that all the recording, all the transactions are recorded in a exact manner ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿಕೆ ನಮಗೆ ಆಗೋದಿಲ್ಲ. So a tallied trial balance only proves to a certain extent. A tallied trial balance, because that's why we will say that a tallied trial balance only proves to a certain extent that the posting to the ledger is arithmetically correct. we can say that posting the ledger or posting to the ledger is arithmetically correct, but it does not guarantee that entry itself is correct. Sometimes the error may be happened by an accountant at the time of passing the journal entry itself, but he posted that wrong journal entry correctly. So many errors may happen during that stages, so we cannot, that's why, because of that reason, we cannot give guarantee that the entry itself is correct. Okay, so sometimes there can a tally trial balance, or there can be errors which affect the tallying or which affect the equality of debits and credit, and there can be some of errors which do not affect the equality of debit and credit. Okay, so let's see what are the some common errors are common errors are includes or may happen during the recording of a transaction. Say errors in totaling of debit and credit column, or errors in totaling of debit and credit balances, and especially in preparing the trial balance, and errors in totaling of subsidiary books sales book total value. Instead of recording 20,000, wrongly recorded or entered as 25,000 or less than that. So some errors may happen, or especially errors may happen or errors may occur at the time of posting the journal entries to the individual accounts to the ledger, and omission in showing an important account, or omission in showing of some account balances in the trial balance. Unintentionally, an accountant missed to record sales volume or sales balance in the trial balance. Some errors such errors may happen, or errors in calculation of ledger account balances, or error while posting journal entry to the ledger accounts, or errors may happen or errors may occur at the time of passing the journal entry itself, or errors may occur especially in recording the transaction in subsidiary books with the wrong name or wrong account title. Say for example, purchase of office equipment is recorded in purchase book. Purchase of office equipment on credit is recorded in purchase book. It is it is a wrong recording, because when office equipments are purchased, then that is on credit, we should not record that transaction in purchase book. We should record that transaction in subsidiary in journal proper. Instead of recording journal proper, if we record the same transaction in purchase book, then it is considered as error of principle. He violated the principle, ignored the principle of accounting. So such errors also may occur at the time of recording the transaction. So, but a tally trial balance only proves that to a certain extent that the posting to the ledger is arithmetically correct, but it does not guarantee that the entry itself is correct. So let's move to the next topic, that is classification of errors. Important concept, that is what? Classification of errors. So according to the nature, or keeping in the view of nature of different errors, all the errors, these are classified, means errors are classified into four main categories. That is, first one is errors of commission. Errors of commission. See, there are the errors which are committed during or due to wrong posting of transaction. Listen carefully. These errors are the errors which are committed due to the wrong posting of a transaction or wrong totaling or errors due to wrong posting or wrong totaling or wrong balancing of the account or wrong recording of amount in a wrong books in the books of original entry. By mistakenly he recorded the correct transaction in a wrong book, or he recorded a transaction in a wrong book. All these, or wrong totaling, wrong posting, all these are considered as error of commission. Error of commission. So there are errors which are committed due to wrong posting, wrong totaling or wrong balancing of the accounts and wrong recording of the transaction in the original entry or original book. Say for example, for purchasing of a goods, one means customer have to pay the amount to the seller, correct, right? So here assume Raj Traders paid rupees 25,000 to Ram Traders. Raj Traders paid rupees 25,000 to Ram Traders. So entry is like this: Ram Traders account debited to cash account. When we are preparing the or when we are passing the journal entries in the books of Raj Traders, it is considered a receiver is Ram. So our cash shows decreased value. Ram Traders account debited to cash account. This is recorded correctly in the journal entry, means in the original entry, but while posting to the ledger account, Ram's account was debited only with rupees 25,000. So instead of crediting, Ram's account was debited. Means if any errors committed during posting or during totaling or during balancing the accounts or while recording the transactions, say for example, what is a journal entry for purchase of goods for cash account debited to purchases account, but in the original entry he just by mistakenly he recorded as purchase account or cash account debited to sales account, but that entry is relates to purchase or sale, or wrongly he recorded in the books of account. That is considered as what? Errors of commission. So wrong posting of a transaction or wrong totaling or wrong balancing. So here Raj Traders paid rupees 25,000 to Ram Traders. In the books of journal entry he was recorded correctly, but while posting that entry to the concerned individual account he made some mistake. That is called as errors of commission. Getting my point? And the next one is errors of omission. Errors of omission. Okay, so the errors of omission may be committed at the time of recording the transaction in the books of original entry or while posting to the ledger account. Errors of omission may be committed during, especially main case, during at the time of recording the transaction in the books of original entry or at the time of posting to the ledger accounts. So omission ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಹೋಗುವಂಥದ್ದು. Say for example, from January 1 till January 10 there are number of transactions was took place in that organization, but they forget to record the transaction dated on Jan 6th. That is considered as error of omission, because he forget or he omitted, ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಹೋಗಿರುವಂಥದ್ದು, ರೆಕಾರ್ಡ್ ಮಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಹೋಗಿರುವಂಥದ್ದು, omit ಆಗಿದೆ ಅಲ್ಲಿ. So such errors ಅನ್ನು ನಾವು errors of omission ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೇವೆ. Errors of commission and errors of omission, if transactions are not recorded in the original book, then it is called as error of comes under error of omission. But here two classifications of omission, types of omission. One is complete omission, or error of complete omission. complete omission and error of partial omission. Error of partial omission. Error of complete omission in the sense what? Transaction completely omitted from recording the transaction in the books of accounts. Then it is called as what? Error of complete omission. Say for example, credit sales to Mohan rupees 20,000 is not recorded in the sales book. Credit sales to Mohan rupees 10,000 is not recorded in the sales book. Then it is called as what? Error of complete omission. Credit purchase from Mr. Mohan is not recorded in purchase book. Then also it is considered as error of complete omission. ಒಂದು transactions ಅನ್ನು record ಮಾಡಲಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಅದೇನು complete omission. Same way, error of partial omission. If the partial of one aspect is recorded in the books of accounts and another aspect is not recorded, such transaction, when a transaction is omitted partially from when at the time of recording the transaction, then it is called as error of partial omission. Say for example, credit sales to Mohan is recorded in the sales book, is recorded correctly in the sales book, but while posting to the individual account, sales account, is not recorded that one aspect of a transaction, one aspect of a transaction is not recorded in the sales account, then it is considered as what? Error of partial omission. Or posting from sales book, Mohan's account, say for example, one account is not, one aspect of a transaction is not recorded, then it is called as error of partial omission. Next important error is error of principle. Errors of principle. Very important error, very important concept. See, accounting entries are, accounting entries are recorded as per GAAP, generally accepted accounting principles. If an accountant violated or ignored the basic principles of accounting when recording the transactions in the books of account, then such error is considered as or called as errors of principle. So according to the principles of debit and credit or rules of debit and credit, there are some classification, means cash comes under asset, capital comes under capital, or creditor comes under liability. If an accountant done the entries or pass the wrong entries, say for example he considered cash as liabilities or creditor as asset, then it is what? Errors of principle. He violating the principle of accounting. So an error of principle may occur due to incorrect classification of expenditure or revenues or other types of accounts. Incorrect classification. Building is considered as liability. Many of you may be still maybe in the confusion. Buildings comes under asset or liability. Yes, now you are able to say asset. Or creditors, bills payable, whether it comes under which type of account. So say if an accountant failed to do the correct classification of account, then that errors are called as what? Errors of principle. Say for example, if credit purchase of office equipment like any other furniture, building or any other fixed asset is recorded in the purchase book, then it is, instead of recording the general proper, it is considered as what? Error of principle. So these errors do not affect the trial balance. And the next important error is compensating errors. Compensating errors. Okay. So compensating, when two or more errors are committed in such a way that the net effect of the account, the net effect of these errors on debits and credits of accounts are, that is what? The net effect of the debit or the net effect of the errors on the debit and credit of accounts is nil, such errors are called as compensating errors. Means these type of errors, ಎರರ್ಸ್ ಆಗಿರುವಂಥದ್ದು ಎರಡು ಡಿಫರೆಂಟ್ ಅಕೌಂಟಲ್ಲಿ ಎರರ್ಸ್ ಆಗಿದೆ. ಸೊ ಕಮಿಟೆಡ್ ಇನ್ ದಟ್ ನೆಟ್ ಎಫೆಕ್ಟ್ ಡಸ್ ನಾಟ್ ಎಫೆಕ್ಟ್ ದ ಟ್ಯಾಲಿಂಗ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಟ್ರಯಲ್ ಬ್ಯಾಲೆನ್ಸ್. ಮೀನ್ಸ್ 10,000 ಡಿಫರೆನ್ಸ್ ಕ್ಯಾಶ್ ಬುಕ್, 10,000 ಡಿಫರೆನ್ಸ್ ಸೇಲ್ಸ್ ಬುಕ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಆಗಿದೆ, 10,000 ಡಿಫರೆನ್ಸ್ ಪರ್ಚೇಸ್ ಬುಕ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಆಗಿದೆ. ಸೊ ಇಟ್ ಡಸ್ ನಾಟ್ ಎಫೆಕ್ಟ್ ದ ಟ್ಯಾಲಿಂಗ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಟ್ರಯಲ್ ಬ್ಯಾಲೆನ್ಸ್. So for example, if sales book is overcast by 10,000 and the purchase book is overcast by 10,000, the net effect of the ledger will be nil at that time. 10,000 ಅಲ್ಲೂ ಕಡಿಮೆ ಇದೆ, 10,000 ಇಲ್ಲೂ ಕಡಿಮೆ ಇದೆ. ಸೊ ಡೆಬಿಟ್ ಸೈಡಲ್ಲೂ ಕ್ರೆಡಿಟ್ ಸೈಡಲ್ಲೂ 10,000 ಕಡಿಮೆ ಇದೆ. ಟ್ರಯಲ್ ಬ್ಯಾಲೆನ್ಸ್ ಟ್ಯಾಲಿ ಬರುತ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ವಾ? ಟ್ರಯಲ್ ಬ್ಯಾಲೆನ್ಸ್ ಟ್ಯಾಲಿ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ನಮ್ಮ ಅಗ್ರಿಮೆಂಟ್ ಪ್ರಕಾರ ಟ್ರಯಲ್ ಬ್ಯಾಲೆನ್ಸ್ ಟ್ಯಾಲಿ ಬಂದ್ರೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಅಕೌಂಟ್ಸ್ ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿದೆ ಅಂತ. ಅದಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರನೇ in the one previous sentence ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಹೇಳಿದೆ, it does not prove the final proof, accuracy ಇದೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ final proof ಅಲ್ಲ ಅನ್ನೋದು. So a group of, so here compensating errors means what? A group of two or more errors of each of individual, means each of whom individually affect the trial balance but it collectively nullify each other's impact is called as what? Compensating errors. ಡೆಬಿಟ್ ಸೈಡ್ ರಾಂಗ್, ಕ್ರೆಡಿಟ್ ಸೈಡ್ ರಾಂಗ್ ಅನ್ನ ನಲ್ಲಿಫೈ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ. ಹಾಗಿದ್ದಾಗ ಅಂತ ಎರರ್ಗಳನ್ನ ನಾವು ಕಾಂಪನ್ಸೇಟಿಂಗ್ ಎರರ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೇವೆ. 10,000 ಪರ್ಚೇಸ್ ಆಗಿರೋದನ್ನ ರೆಕಾರ್ಡ್ ಮಾಡಲಿಲ್ಲ, 10,000 ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ಎಷ್ಟು ಸೇಲ್ ಆಗಿದ್ದನ್ನ ರೆಕಾರ್ಡ್ ಮಾಡಲಿಲ್ಲ. ಸೊ ಎರಡೂ ಕಡೆ ಕೂಡ ಮಿಸ್ಟೇಕ್ ಆಗಿದೆ, ಸೇಮ್ ಅಮೌಂಟಿನ ಮಿಸ್ಟೇಕ್ ಆಗಿದೆ. ಅಂತ ಎರರ್ಸ್ಗಳನ್ನು ನಾವು ಕಾಂಪನ್ಸೇಟಿಂಗ್, ಒಂದು ಎರರ್ ಅನ್ನ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಎರರ್ ಕಾಂಪನ್ಸೇಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳುತ್ತೆ, ನಲ್ಲಿಫೈ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ. ಅಂತ ಎರರ್ಸ್ಗಳನ್ನು ಕಾಂಪನ್ಸೇಟಿಂಗ್ ಎರರ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. ಅಂಡ್ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ important error is searching errors, or we can say that fifth classification is searching. See, if the trial balance that does not tally, ನಮ್ಮ ಪ್ರಕಾರ ಟ್ರಯಲ್ ಬ್ಯಾಲೆನ್ಸ್ ಟ್ಯಾಲಿ ಆಗಿರಬೇಕು, ಡೆಬಿಟ್ and credit. If the trial balance does not tally, it is a clear indication that is what at least one error has occurred. ಟ್ರಯಲ್ ಬ್ಯಾಲೆನ್ಸ್ ಟ್ಯಾಲಿ ಬರದೇ ಇದ್ದಾಗ ನಾವು ಜಡ್ಜ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಯಾವುದೋ ಒಂದು ಎರರ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಆಗಿದೆ, ಮಿನಿಮಮ್ ಒಂದಷ್ಟು ಎರರ್ ಆಗಿದೆ ಅನ್ನೋದು. ಸೊ ದ ಎರರ್ಸ್ ನೀಡ್ ಟು ಬಿ ಲೊಕೇಟೆಡ್ at that time. What we should do, errors need to be located and corrected before preparing the financial statement, that is what? Trading account, profit and loss account and balance sheet. So if the trial balance does not tally, the accountant should take some of the steps to rectify such errors. Firstly, he should recast the totals of debit and credit columns, and next one he need to compare the account balances, account titles. Again he should compare the totals, means total columns and account titles, and he need to compare the trial balance of this particular year, current year, with the previous year to check the addition or deletion of any accounts, and he need to redo and check the correctness of the balances of the ledger account, whether the balances the total balances is correct or not, and he need to recheck the correctness of posting of accounts. If any errors found, or if the trial balance doesn't give a tally amount, then he need to do this much process. First one is what he should do, recast the total and totals of debit and credit, and he again compare the account heads and the total amounts, and he need to compare the trial balance to check the correctness or to check the deletion or addition of the of an account, and he need to redo and check the correctness of the individual accounts of the ledger, and finally he should check whether correctness of the posting of the ledger account, posting of the accounts from the books of original entry to the ledger accounts. So that is about the types of errors. Next, I'll draw the format of trial balance. The next important concept after study or after preparing the trial balance, we need to go through the rectification of errors. What is the meaning of rectification of errors and all. So now just draw the format of trial balance. Very simple format. Columns are like this. We will follow the balance method to prepare trial balance. Serial number, account title, LF, debit in rupees, credit in rupees. And here we should write the serial numbers and here account title. And one important logic I'll give: all assets and expenses are recorded in debit side, recorded in debit column, and all items related to capital, liabilities and revenues are recorded under credit column. So cash, debit, buildings, debit, creditors, credit, or bills payable, credit, bills receivable, debit, like that. All assets, before that you need to know the classification of accounts. All assets, expenses, debit, all capital, liabilities, revenues under credit side. So this is about trial balance format. At the end we need to get the total amount, equal amount. So now take down the assignment question for this class. Give the meaning of trial balance. I hope you understood what is the meaning of trial balance, what are the objectives of trial balance, why we need to prepare trial balance before preparation of financial statement, and the important methods of preparing trial balance and the important classification of errors. Thank you for watching this video.
Don't forget to like our video and subscribe our YouTube channel for all the updates.